If you've ever thought to yourself that there has to be a different option for my child's education, you're not alone.
Since the time our oldest daughter was 4 years old, we had been dreaming and seeking out other school options for our family. We knew we didn't have the capacity to homeschool, and the teaching style and curriculum of traditional public and private schools left a lot to be desired. So we found ourselves thinking, we know our kids will be just fine in traditional school, but is this really the only way? And are we okay with just fine, or is there so much more that we could offer them throughout their 12 plus years of schooling?
Hi, we're Zach and Heidi Harson. We are parents, entrepreneurs, and love being outside with our 4 children and our dog Bailey. We never thought that we would say the words, "We own a school," but here we are. Everything changed when we found Acton Academy. We knew this was something we had to bring to Lincoln, a city that we love, and build a community of like-minded families seeking something more for their children.
So back in February of 2020, we had spent months hoping and praying we would find the right school fit for our family. When one day Zach sent me a text that simply said this is what my heart desires for our children, and we are going to open one if that's what it takes to give this to our children. I watched the video, then another and another. At the time I was 8 months pregnant and simply didn't think much more of it as I turned my attention back to our other 2 kids at home. Little did I know, Zach kept watching video after video at his office, researching the school, the network, and the process to open one. A few hours later, he sent another text and said, "It's done." I submitted the first step of the application to open one.
I simply couldn't help myself. As I watched video after video, all I could think of was, this is it. This is what we have been waiting for. This is exactly what we desire for our children and their school experience. And there have to be other families that feel this exact same way as us here in Lincoln. These young people were self-driven. They were motivated to learn because they were passionate about what they were learning. They were starting businesses. They were learning to manage their finances and how to lead others well. They were all on their own learning journey, but also learning alongside their peers. They were helping one another and asking for help when needed. And they weren't hindered or held back by others. They were simply thriving, each in their own way, each at their own pace, all discovering what they were uniquely passionate about. Their hours at school weren't being spent at a desk governed by a teacher. They were learning how to manage their own freedom. They were learning about life. They were learning about self-discipline and how to think for themselves. So after doing my multi-hour deep dive into Acton, I knew this was the answer for our prayers and was our dream school concept, but was shocked when I realized that there wasn't one in Lincoln already. I realized I was about to eat the words of that text that I had sent hours before. I realized that we were starting a school.
We come from families of entrepreneurs and have built our lives around the concept of finding our passions and using our passions to change the world. We want the same thing for our children. And while they may not become entrepreneurs like us, that's okay. We simply want them to find their calling and their gifts to change their world. As Zach and I continued to discuss this idea of starting a school, should we be accepted, we quickly realized that Acton is designed to do just that. The core belief of every Acton is that every single child that walks through the doors is a genius that deserves to find their calling in life. Today, there are over 300 Acton Academies around the world where young people are spending their school days finding their passions and learning with their hands and their hearts instead of just their heads. They are learning life skills, developing character and leadership skills, and having daily practice communicating their thoughts, opinions, and ideas in a respectful way.
We believe in this approach to education because in the 21st century, we believe that young people need more than just standardized tests to prepare them for life. We believe young learners should invest their time at school discovering their passion instead of memorizing facts. We believe that character and creativity are far more important than simply math and literacy. We believe that when young people are given freedom and trust, it builds their confidence and their self-awareness. We believe learning to navigate failure is a necessary part of life in order for success and growth to occur. We believe that every young person has a calling that will change the world. And that's why we have spent the last 3 years tirelessly building this community of like-minded families here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
We may have sought out this way of schooling for our own children, but we desperately want it for our community as well. How amazing would it be to see a generation of young people leaving high school already knowing what they're good at, already knowing how to communicate effectively, already knowing how to think for themselves, manage their time, their money, and their resources in life. That's what we're doing at Acton Academy Lincoln. So if you're interested in watching the video that changed everything for our family and want to learn more about the community of like-minded families we are building, please grab a free info kit in the link below. We can't wait to share these resources with you and look forward to meeting you soon.